Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be showing you exactly how I fill in, how I shape my brows in order to get them to look like this. Because if you saw me without the brows, you wouldn't really even know that I had any. My brows are really light in color, so therefore I've always had to fill them in and I've always had to shape them up in order to get them to look a little bit fuller and just a little bit thicker. Okay, so enough talking, let's get right into it. Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm going to be using two different products. The first one being the Eyebrow Cream Gel from Benefit. This one is in the shade 5. And the second one being the Brow Wiz from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This one is in the shade Ebony. I love using these two because the cream gel saves me a lot of time because I go in with it and it fills in my brows really super quickly and easily. The Brow Wiz I like using in order to define the brows a little bit further. So if I want to add a little bit more hair-like strokes here, or if I want to just add a little bit down along the bottom, I find that the Brow Wiz is really good for that. So combined, they give me personally a really good looking brow. So let's get started. I'm going to zoom you all in so that you can get a better look at exactly how I do it, and yeah. Okay, so like I said, I start with the Eyebrow. I really like it because it comes with a little brush along the top, and then you can just open it up and dig right in. So just grab a little bit of the product. A little goes a long way. Start here along the bottom of my brow and then just start darkening them, because as you can see, my brows are really super light. So I have brow hairs, but they're just light in color. And I don't have very many of them, so makes it even lighter. And grabbing the product just one time, it really is all it takes. Just applying this to the hairs. All right, and that completes the cream gel step. Now moving on to the Brow Wiz, I'm going to start off using the spoolie end of the Brow Wiz and just brushing my hairs in order to just tone down that Eyebrow product a little bit, because as you can see, it looks really super defined right now, and I want it to look a little bit less defined so that it looks a little bit more natural. So just brushing through with the spoolie end of the Brow Wiz. And now I can start to define. So one thing that I do before I start defining my brow is I just make sure that I'm hitting the 3 key areas here along the brow. The first one being here, so you want to align the beginning of your brow with the side of your nose. So making sure that you start there. That's where I'll start it. And then you want to make sure that you hit this top arch of your brow. The way that you determine where that should be is by holding something straight along the side of your nose, making sure that it goes right across the pupil area as you're looking straight. And that's where your arch is going to be. And then the way that you determine where your brow should end is by holding the same object along the side of your nose, making sure that you're hitting the edge of your eye here, and that's where it should end. So starting here, arch should be there, and then the brow should end here. That's just something that you could do really quickly in order to determine where your points should be, because that's probably going to be what best suits your face shape. So starting off here, I'm just going to be really light-handed along the front of the brow. So I'm just going to lightly start applying some of this product along the brow. I want my brow to come across, but I still want it to arch a little bit here. I want it to curve a little bit. I don't like the straight brow for my particular face, but I do like them a little bit straight. So I start off pretty straight, but at an angle here. Okay, and along the top, I like to keep it really minimal along the top because I feel like that makes it look a lot more natural and not, like I mentioned earlier, not as defined. So I like to keep all of my strokes, especially up top, really light. Now that I know where my arch is going to be, I can just very lightly get rid of that line up there. Okay, so now that we've reached the top of the brow, I don't want to come just straight down. I don't prefer my brows like that, to just be really thick over here and then just have a little line coming down at the end. So I'm going to thicken that by adding some product along the top. If you ever find that the top is just a little bit too defined for your liking, because I find that all the time, just go back with the spoolie and just lightly rub that down, and it'll take care of that issue like really, really quickly. And that is how I have been filling in and shaping my brows. And that is pretty much all that I do in order to fill in and shape my brows. One thing that I will add is that whenever I am having trouble getting my brows to look, you know, pretty similar to one another, because let's face it, we all have that issue. We all have that issue with wing liner. We all have that issue with brows. To get them to look the same sometimes can be a little bit of a hassle. And even with eyeshadow, the same hand does different things on both sides. I don't know. That's the way that it is for me. So one thing that I will suggest is if you are having that issue, go ahead and stop for a second. Like, you know, when you feel like, okay, I feel like they're pretty close to one another. I feel like they resemble each other. Look away from the mirror that you're looking at into a different mirror, whether that be another mirror along the house, whether that be your bathroom mirror. You can also take like a selfie, try to stay like as straight as possible. Take a selfie, like closing your eyes if you're looking to match your wing line, or just looking straight if you're looking to get your brows to resemble one another. And then review that picture, or, you know, when you're looking at yourself in a different mirror, kind of like just look back and forth at your brows or your wing line. And I don't know what it is, at least it is for me. I don't know if it's going to be the same way with any of you, but when I look into a different mirror, or when I take that selfie and I review it, I realize, okay, they don't look the same. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to change. This is what I need to add. This is where I need to fill in a little bit more. Like, I'll find different things that I wouldn't have otherwise seen if I was just looking into the mirror that I was getting ready into. So that's one thing that I'll throw out there, because it's made a difference for me, so maybe it'll make a difference for you. Other than that, that completes this video tutorial. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed this video and that you found it helpful. As always, take care, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye.